Hello Saber fans, Shamim here. It is Graflex time once again, but there is a special glint in my eye this time because this is a vintage Graflex flash gun. This is an authentic, original, vintage 1930s, 40s, whatever it is, flash gun handle, a 3-cell Graflex flash gun handle. With rust and little scratches everywhere, and it's so perfect. It's so beautiful. So I have never seen a vintage Graflex in person. I've never touched one, let alone had the opportunity to do an install on one. So by some miracle of God, and I don't know, he was drunk or something at the time, this customer decided, yeah, I'll send Shamim a vintage flash gun. I've never touched one. So this was my first opportunity to do an install on a vintage flash gun, which was a very daunting challenge for me. Because, you know, it's vintage. You can't just go out and buy one. They're like $1,000. So you better not mess up. And by the grace of God, I don't think I messed up. I mean, I'll show you. And hopefully the customer will be happy with it. I'm very happy with it. So doing the chassis from scratch, electronics install, getting the sound to vent without messing up the pommel is quite a challenge. It was a learning experience. It was a very fun, time-consuming, very fun, very enjoyable. I learned a lot, and I feel very proud of myself, given how very recently, relatively, I've gotten into this hobby to have the opportunity to do an install on a vintage piece like this. This is like, God bless. Man, I'm so proud. Okay, so it's set up in the A New Hope configuration, the original configuration. You've got a glass eye here. You've got your bubble card up here. Got a D-ring on the pommel. You've got 7 grips without any rivets or cuts set up here like you would have in Empire Strikes Back or Force Awakens. Got your red button back here. Graflex blade plug. This is a V2 style from Kyle Jerome at KR Sabers. You've got the word Graflex stamped across the clamp. Look how cool is that? That makes all the difference for me. Cause yeah. And then you've got you've got some rust. Like right here. You've got some rust. Here on the beer tab. You can see right there on the beer tab. Can you see the rust? I love the rust. The rust is so good. So yeah. Internally, we are running a Nano Biscotti V3 soundboard. Got a premium speaker with a full chassis in-hilt recharge port. The switch is underneath the red button here. Tri-Cree blue, green, white LED XB2 for a really nice cyan with a white flash-on clash. Yeah, not much else to say. Let's get her fired up.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
The sound font, of course, is Graflex 4 HD by Juan Sith on saberfont.com. Got the shine through on the glass eye. I don't know how I feel about that personally. It's a really cool feature, but I think for my own Graflex builds, I will do a solid glass eye without the shine through. But it is really cool to see it. It's quite lovely. But Shamim, where's the sound coming through? There's no holes in the pommel. You're right, there are no holes in the pommel that you can see. The screw has a hole drilled through it, and then underneath the D-ring there's 5 or 6 additional holes. And then in between the D-ring and the pommel, there's a little washer around the screw. So it provides just enough of a gap for the sound to escape through the 5 or 6 additional holes out from the edges of the D-ring. And then with the authentic clamp, you have a little hole here and there. You have a little hole here and there. You can even see some of the LED light shining through there, through that hole. So all of that contributes to the sound venting, which is nice. And you got pretty decent sound. Like, it's not the loudest saber on the planet, but it's pretty good sound. And then a white flash on clash. So that's exciting. And off. Let's take a look at the blade retention screw. And this was an interesting challenge to figure out because this slotted screw up here was not long enough to serve as blade retention. And then this glass eye, because you wanted it to shine through, it doesn't have a screw. So I was left pondering where to put the blade retention screw. And the solution that I came to, as far as I'm aware, no one else has done this. Please correct me if others have done this. I put the blade retention screw right there in the blade holder itself. So the middle hole is where the light shines through. And then this is the glass eye. So you can see it shining through like that when it's screwed in. But then the blade retention screw goes right above that. And it's a little teeny tiny screw, just a couple threads, 832 screw. And then that serves as blade retention. This guy's a little tight, the blade plug, but we'll just pull it out right there. So there's your blade plug. You can see your tri-Cree LED there at the bottom of the blade holder. Let's throw a blade inside. To get a blade in or out, as well as the blade plug, you gotta clamp push the bunny ears together so that widens and opens up and you can put the blade in. Alright, blade's in. Let's screw in the blade retention screw. Lock that in place. So you can see that's ready to go. And then we'll put the glass side back in. So this blade holder, I believe, is from... I don't remember. The customer actually installed the blade holder himself. So I don't know if it's from the Graflex shop or if it's from Custom Saber shop. But either way, it's a 1-inch blade holder. So it's not like a 7/8 blade holder that the recent Graflex 2.0 kits come with. So you can do a 1-inch blade in here, which is nice. Here we go. You got that lovely cyan color. It's pretty accurate on camera to what you're seeing here in person as well. And the white flash on class isn't showing off too well because blue and green are both very bright colors, and so you mix the two of them together and then you got a white trying to go in with that as well. But in person it's a lovely effect. Even on camera you get a little bit of the white. So that's quite nice. Guys, it's a vintage Graflex! I'm playing with a vintage Graflex! Ah! Yeah, I'm freaking out just a lot. So, here we go. Alright, I'm going to take out the blade now, and I'm going to show you guys the chassis that I built. Which took the better part of an entire day to do. So, that was fun. But I think it's worth it. Out you pop. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with a vintage Graflex or a replica Graflex, how it works, to open it all up, it separates into 3 pieces. You got the bottom part, you got the clamp, and then you got the top part. So you open up the clamp, lever, and then the bubble strip or the circuit card is free to move around, unless, of course, you have circuit board activation, in which case it probably shouldn't be moving around all that much. So then what you gotta do, push in, and then you can unscrew, out pops the bottom part. You can also remove the, so let's do that even as well. Let's take off the clamp. And then the chassis is screwed into the top part, so it's not coming apart anymore. But here's the chassis. You've got your soundboard here, your battery, there's your recharge port, you got a speaker. This thing is solid. It's not going anywhere. It is dual worthy, though why on earth you would ever dual with a vintage Graflex is beyond me. If you do that, you're a crazy person. You're cray. I'm not supposed to judge, but oh my god, I'm hella judging. Don't dual with a Graflex. Don't dual with a vintage Graflex, I mean. So yeah. that's cool. You can put a little kill key in there if you want. Otherwise, deep sleep mode on the Nano Biscotti kicks in after a few minutes, and then you're all set to go. So you got your clamp with the little nubs, and the little nubs will go into, so it's like a little puzzle. The nub goes in, and then it goes like that, so it locks it in place. So let's do that now. So this is cool. This is how they were able to get the clamp on one side or the other in the films. So in A New Hope, most of the time you see the clamp like so, I believe. But you can very easily do it the opposite way as well. So, and it's just as simple as taking it apart and putting it together the other way. Align it. Put the little bubble card back in, and close the clamp. And you're all set. So there you have it, guys. Vintage Graflex camera flash installed with a Nano Biscotti cyan with a white flash on clash, premium speaker, full chassis, built using the TCSS chassis bits. Though I did a little bit of custom drilling just to get the sizing the way that I personally wanted it to be. So this was such a fun install, and I'm very sad that now I have to send this back to the customer. Thank you all for watching, and may the Force be with you.